I'm Rick Kajura for Adventist Mission, and we're here in Canada, but I'm not going to tell you where just yet because I'm going to let our guest tell you that. I'm here with Gail Wilton, who is the principal here at a unique school. Where are we exactly, and what's the name of the school?
We are in central Alberta. We're halfway basically between Edmonton and Calgary, in the Ponoka County, just off the Musqueam Reserve. And the name of our school is Mamawi Atosketan Native School. Mamawi Atosketan in the Cree language means working together.
Working together. I like that, and I'm really glad I let you say all those words. But this school, okay, you said it's a native school. It's also Seventh-day Adventist run school.
It is.
What exactly does this school do here in this community?
Well, we are actually a mission school, and so we are just off reserve. Like you said, we are funded, we are supported by the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Canada and our local conference here, the Alberta Conference. We are all First Nations, so all of our students come from the local reserves here. There are 4 reserves in this area that we service. We have the Sampson, Ermineskin, Louis Bull, and Montana bands, and so our children come from all of those areas. We bus them in every day, bus them home every afternoon. We are a mission school. We do not charge any tuition. We have a breakfast and a lunch program at no cost to the children or their families. The funding that we do get, though, it's not provincial funding, it's actually federal funding. That's where all the First Nations funding comes from, is the federal government. But here at our school, our goal to work with these children and introduce them, bring them to Christ, and help them get their education along the way so that they can be productive members of their society and become our future leaders of our country.
So how do you promote the school? How do you get students? Is it difficult to get students?
Well, we used to advertise in the neighboring communities, but that kind of got a little ahead of us. We can't keep up with the demand when we advertise. So primarily the students that we have are students that we've had for quite some time, or they're related to students who attend here, or word of mouth basically is how our school is growing. In the last 8 years, we've grown from 132 students. This year we're at 208. And we're full. We are full.
That's a good problem to have, but you
is.
are expanding because you do have a waiting list, right?
That's correct. We have a waiting list every year. We have students that want to come and join our school, but unfortunately we just don't have the space to do that. So right now we have 6 of our classrooms that are in portables, in external classrooms outside of the main building. We just don't have space for them. But we are in the midst of a building project, and that new school that is being built will be for our 7th to 12th graders, and the current building then will be used just for the kindergarten through to grade 6.
So what grades do you go up to now? Do you go up to 12?
We do. We're kindergarten all the way through to 12.
But they're in these small sort of outbuildings, external. I don't know if everybody around the world knows what portables are,
Right.
but they are buildings that you just sort of set up that are usually supposed to be somewhat temporary.
They are. They're trailers that we've brought in that have a classroom and a bathroom, basically.
And then anytime they want to come into the main building, they have to run through the Alberta winter.
That's right. They have to come through rain, sleet, snow, fog, whatever it is
Just
that
for
day.
some people that don't know how cold it gets in an Alberta winter, how cold can it get?
Well, we close school when the wind chill hits minus 40.
Minus 40 Celsius.
Minus 40 Celsius.
Okay, that's pretty cold.
That is cold.
Okay, so then you've got a number of students and you've been here a number of years. Is there a story you can share about one student maybe that's really touched your heart?
Sure, and this is one that I've shared several times, but it is one that's very close to my heart. When I first started here 14 years ago, I was working with a classroom full of students who were much older than the grade level they should have been in. This one particular student in 6th grade, she just didn't want to have anything to do with a new teacher coming in. She ruled that class. I did not have too much management on that class. And so if I said something needed to be done, she went totally against me. And this happened day after day after day. But one of the things that I always did in my class was every morning when I had worship with them, I would start off with a little spiritual talk, and then I'd pray with my students. So I would always ask them, fold their hands, close their eyes, bow their head, and understand that a lot of them come from and were living in some very difficult situations. So the whole closing your eyes and being vulnerable was a big situation. So it was very hard to get that. But I would pray anyway, even though that I wasn't necessarily getting them all on board. And every day I would ask them, is there anybody who would like to pray or like me to pray for them? But I never got a response. Well, we were several months into the year, and again in the morning I asked if there was anybody who would like to pray. And this young girl, who had previously been so much against everything I had to do, to the point that she actually picked up chairs and threw them in my direction. I am not going to follow. I am not going to be a part of what's happening here. One morning she said, I'll pray. And I was shocked. I really did not expect this, especially to come from her, because she was a very strong leader in the classroom, but not necessarily a positive one. And so I said, okay, well, you can pray. And she did what I did every morning. And she said, I need everybody to fold your hands, bow your heads, and close your eyes. And everybody did. They all listened to her. They all did. And when she had everybody there, eyes closed, heads bowed, she put her head back up and she said, I don't know what to say. And I said, well, Jesus is your friend. Talk to him like you're talking to your best friend. She said, okay. And so she closed her eyes again, bowed her head. And I don't remember everything that she said in the prayer, but I do remember that there were a few cha's in there. And in this area, cha means just kidding. And you say those kinds of things to your friends when you're just horsing around and whatever you say, cha. I remember in that prayer, she was talking to Jesus, that she said cha several times. It's just like, wow, she was talking to a friend. And when she was done, she said amen. Everybody went back to what they were doing, like nothing out of the ordinary happened. And my heart is just pounding out of my chest, and I'm just wanting to tear up, because this young girl who had been so hardened inside, she just found a new friend.
Wow, what a tremendous story. You guys really are making a difference here in this community. And for those of you who are watching, please remember to pray for the Mamawi Atosketan Native School here in Alberta, Canada. And thank you for all you do for mission.